Yo. Hello. Hello, hello. Burke, Adrian, Finn. What's up? Feels like my earphone noise canceling is not working. Hang on here. Style Bob, how you doing? Hello. What's up, Eden? Let me see if this... Okay. Yeah, that's working. Luan, what's up? Pelin, yo. Yo. YouTube gang. How's YouTube been for you guys so far? Also, how's your guys' weekend been? I ask this every Sunday, so you know. Rough, good. Podcast, what's up? How you doing? Okay, maybe I can just use that music's ending to call it good. Cool. Yes. So, I need to get Blender up still too. Hang on here. Yeah. I'm gonna be working on the cup and the bowl, and then we'll be doing some propping. It's better than Twitch. Interesting. A majority of you still watch on Twitch, so. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people like some of the specific vibes that you get from YouTube's streaming side of things. Where are we at here? I think I can go straight into this. Put me up here. It's usually a safe place. Oh yeah, I started saving the Pottery files into separate Blender files, so I don't have like huge amounts of geometry inside of one file. Because yeah, that gets a little wild. Yeah, on YouTube you can roll it back. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so we've been working on the Pottery pieces, and we got these 3 in, and then we wanted to change gears for a little bit and just look at the bowl and the cup. But the kind of like set dressing or like micro story stuff that I was talking about in the description of the announcement is like thinking about it's the details that we don't really there's not really a word for it that I heard until I got into games itself, but it's like micro story propping or like micro stories. So the idea is that you can take like a very specific area and try and tell a story with just the way you prop stuff, right? And it kind of makes a space feel much more lived in, especially when it's a playable game and you're running around and you stumble across this kind of like bit of propping. It becomes very clear that if you built like a little story there, you can see there's more to it than just like, oh, it's just propping. There's a message in the way that it's propped. Whether it's like, on Division, we have some pretty dark stories where you just kind of read between the lines of like where props were placed and what we're trying to tell you about what was happening in this room before or in the past or something tragic or just trying to tell you more without having it be too requiring more than just the environment talking to you, right? So if you ever need to enhance your environments, this is the way you should be pushing, is trying to build these little micro stories, especially if it's a portfolio piece, building micro stories that are all correlated together that draw towards the big picture narrative that you're doing, even if it's for one image. That's the best way you can go about it. Oh, I just realized there's no captions. So yeah, storytelling's freaking everything. I'm trying to figure out why there's no captions. Does this fix it? Let's see. There we go. Cool. Anyways, YouTube has captions. They do. It looks like it's doing a pretty good job of it as well. And just for you guys, like, I haven't figured out what I want to do with the videos that are going on YouTube since they started, right? Because they go there and they're kind of like, they're visible. I don't hide them. But the ones previous years are all hidden behind the Patreon wall. So my idea is maybe I don't do that. And if you guys feel like supporting my streaming, you can go and subscribe on the Patreon for other reasons, like support, or if I'm releasing something on there specific. But all the streams, I think, going forward are just going to be visible. And if you want to support, then you can support. And if not, then you can still get access to the videos. I was wondering why you were pretending to speak. What's up, Magma? That's amazing. That's so good. Yeah, so micro story propping. You can see here as well, we've got some like cups and stuff. I think I've got decal. Yeah, you can't hide the decals on this. You have to go into like sub edit, select everything inside, and then receives decals, turn that off, save it, and then you're back in the level, and then delete it, and then bring it back. Or maybe you move it. No? Let me edit this again. Decal. Receive decals. No, it's good. Interesting. Some type of inheriting. There we go. It's okay now. But yeah, you can see there's some cups and bowls and stuff around the other objects. I want to kind of push those details a little bit further. Oh, that's good to hear, Burke. Visible equals epic or not equal to? Is that what you're saying, podcast? Yeah, so these should work now. You can see I haven't taken a pass on this one yet, but and I think on the last stream we looked at moss placement being tied to the world position, so you can see where the moss is on this object, and then being able to move it. It should be slightly different, but maybe it's not working. Kind of looks like it's not. Oh, it is on this one. There's something weird with that. I need to look into what's going on with it. But anyways, for now, we will focus on these guys, which I think we already got the high poly kind of sorted. So here's like the high poly one for the, oh, nice. That inside's kind of lame. Oh, look at those vertices. My God. Those vases are tough to carry. Left scratches on the ground. I mean, it's a good idea. That's a good point. Oh yeah, if we lower the strength of this. Also, these brushes, I'm getting ready to put them on Patreon. These are the brushes I'm using for all of the pottery sculpting and whatnot. Okay, so this one's good. I think from a unwrapping standpoint, we're probably good as well. I'll probably cut the polys in here. Or maybe I'll just bring that there and then cut this one. Cool. Okay, let's look at the wireframe for this. I recently stumbled across the rectify, which transforms the island into a rectangular shape, which is pretty handy. You do get a little bit of skewing, but it basically takes like what's straightened already and then just kind of cleans it up for you. Yeah, edit mode turning into a black hole. One thing I've noticed is the delay now that I'm streaming on both platforms is pretty real. It's pretty rough, honestly. Okay, so we have this mesh. This is our like high poly. We're doing a little bit of detail work. Maybe. Oh, nice. That inside looks pretty rough too. I might see if I can. Oh, I know why. We didn't remesh this. Or do something like that. Low poly, what's up, Pablo? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Yeah, this should be a little nicer now. Okay, now I should be able to smooth this out. Nice. I wonder if I can add like a crease in here. Where are we at here? Size, no. Stroke. Stabilize. I'm just using a mouse, of course, as usual. This doesn't need to be perfect either, but just kind of there. Kind of gives a little bit more character to it. What I wanted to look at was maybe a micro detail on here. Let me see. Something like this. Oh yeah, I have my own drawing a line. Could lower the strength of it and do this. Turn it up a little bit. So if I did this, and then we radialed that, is it Z that I want to radial? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Let me make sure the pivot is centered up in there. Yep, cool. Yeah, YouTube chat's working. How you doing? Good to see you. For sculpting, what is the main difference for stylized and realism? I mean, honestly, I think it's the surface fidelity you want to get in the end. You know what I mean? Yeah, see what I'm... Looks like it could be pretty cool. Doesn't need to be all the way inside either. It could be just like a design. It doesn't need to be perfect. We get caught up on perfect a lot sometimes. Let's do like 15 now. But like, I would say a lot of realism sculpting is going to be like the look you get when you go with alphas, like stylized. Maybe your alphas are going to be a lot more like simple in their detail structure, if that makes sense. So like I have, where is it at? I have this this rock stamp thing, and I would argue that I'm doing like this stylized semi-real direction with this stuff. So like for example, putting this on there, that's a height map, right? It's height information from a scan. That brings you a little bit closer to realism. But I think the way you're texturing and your albedo and your roughness and whatnot, yeah. Defcon, what's up? What are you doing on my YouTube, sir? What's up, dude? Just gonna emphasize these a bit more. It's kind of like hammered a little bit. And the alpha that I'm using for the porous, it's like stone, like porous stone alpha, which I, weirdly enough, I just painted a black and white image and then place it. But if I use it small enough, it's kind of like pitting in metal. So it can take that as well, I suppose. Oh yeah, I'm gonna soften this line up here. It's not just like perfectly there. This looks weird if it's all visible. Rev, what's up? How you doing? Sven, good to see you. Rev, I'm working on the bowl and the cup of for our environment. So I'm going for like some metal work, hammered surfaces, and then from there, maybe I'll rust it up or give it like a patina, you know, where like copper materials kind of turn into that like coolish teal. It's been an eternity. Mord, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Good to see you. Your name sounds familiar, so maybe I remember you. If it's been an eternity, that's a long time. But no, so what we're doing, just a small little recap, is we're working on these like little cups and bowls and stuff for our kit with all this jazz. Yeah. Using YouTube from now on. Well, me too. Me too. Okay. Let's see if we can get moving here. So we've got this piece. That one's unwrapped. Gonna unhide this one. This one I think we unwrapped as well, and it looks like it's got some weird normal stuff going on. I don't know if we need weighted normals on it. I think even I will unmark this and make this whole thing. Well, no, I think it needs to be marked. Give me a second here. Cool. I'm gonna turn the checkers off on that. Let's see what we can do here. You're from Marmoset support. Whoa. Whoa. That's cool, man. Marmoset's pretty rad. I use I am a don't leave. I'm a Substance Painter user, but I think mainly it's because a lot of people are pushing on production and stuff. I want to find ways to get Substance Painter into studios, but I think the issue is with outsourcing and all of that jazz. But the PlayStation Play of State, interesting. But wait, what? What's up, Jamie? How you doing? Hang on, now I'm trying to understand here. So State of play, I think, is what you're referring to. Yeah, I'm a fan of both tools. I like that there's competition between them, right? It helps everyone in the end. Um, for the PlayStation State of Play, yes, the dude, I'm like really excited about Resident Evil Requiem, and then also what's the other one? Control, the new Control. Pretty stoked, man. I like the direction. I like the direction they're going with it. But I didn't watch too much of the State of Play. I just like the stuff that pops up at the top, shows up in the socials everywhere anyways, and people at work talk about stuff, so you end up seeing the trailers on their own. But yeah, Najer, what's up, dude? Yeah, Pablo, I'd be curious to try out texturing in there. The main reason I haven't got into texturing and baking and stuff in Marmoset is just because like it would be another thing I need to learn, right? What is the naming of these? Hang on. This is all wrong. Pottery. I'm just gonna say cup. Oh, you guys can't see this, can you? I'll just put me here, I guess. I always end up down there. Call this cup, and then we'll go to the low poly. And then we got bowl. Oh, this is the high poly. But yeah, the other thing too is a lot of the like requests I get when it comes to education on texturing and whatnot goes through Substance Painter. A lot of the studios use Substance Painter, so it's just like it's natural for me to stick with that. I did not need to call this low poly. There we go, high poly. I think I'm gonna put these in the same texture set. So normally what you would do in production, if you're streaming a lot of textures in and out, it's better to have each of these in their own texture set and just make them smaller, and then just let your computer or your console deal with like bringing in more smaller textures instead of like really large ones that accommodate like multiple objects. Especially if you're only loading one of those objects in a scene, then you end up paying for all of them. So it's like it's usually just better to have them separate. So I'm debating if I should. I think I'll just pack these together. I think it's better that way. Or sorry, I think I'll just do them separately. I think it'll be better in the long run. I'm just gonna put a material on this, and I'm just gonna call the material the name of the object. Cool. So we got cup and bowl. Let's export these. FBX export. Cup and bowl. Okay. Exported those out. I'm going to export the high polys now. But yeah, I'm excited for any games, man. Games there's some pretty dope stuff coming. Have you seen the Crimson Desert gameplay features they have been releasing? No, I have not. I think I started to see it, and then I had to get up to go do something. But yeah, what's up, Eric? How you doing, man? Just make sure I'm catching all your guys' messages. Cool. Feel like I missed one from Rev, but I think I answered your question. Oh, do you prefer sculpting these details over doing them in Painter? It really depends. Like that alpha I was bringing in earlier for the stone stuff. You could do that with stamping, right? Stamping height information in Substance Painter too. Just a matter of dealing with it. I think if you want to deal with ambient occlusion a little easier and curvature and all that stuff, it's easier if you have it in your high poly, because then it just comes through in the bakes easier. But not necessarily required, right? It's mainly my preference. What I noticed of Crimson Desert, and I honestly have no idea about any of the details of Crimson Desert, but it kind of reminds me of like MMO vibes in a weird way, you know? Let's see here. Oh, I did, dude. I did not pack the UVs. That's so funny. I just remembered this. Let's grab the low polys again real fast. Wait, what? Am I doing this again? This is the high poly. Funny. I'm just gonna put a thing on there. Okay. That will change a lot of things. These two, right? Yes. Yes. Cool. Okay. These ones. UVs. Gotta pack these boys. What? Oh, bro. There we go. Nice. Looking good. Go to this one. That's okay. There's some wastage going on in here, but I'm just gonna y'all. Okay. Need to re-export these. Open bold because the naming was wrong as well. High poly. Okay, yeah, you can see the high polys in here too. We're nanite, but I'm not going that nanite. Re-import mesh. There we go. Bake. That's not great. What's going on there? Is that flipped? Yes, it is. There we go. Gross. Export. Low poly. Model. Re-import mesh. There we go. That's interesting too. What is that? Usually I just start wiggling stuff around and then something usually presents itself and I'm like, oh. Or if you go see through, maybe you'll see like a extra edge that doesn't make any sense. No, we're everything's looking pretty normal mode. Okay. I'm gonna ignore it unless it presents a problem for us here in a second. Pottery and bowl. Oh. Bowl. Right, this doesn't have the cup material. You can see up here, we're missing the cup material. It was applied to the high poly, so I need to export this out. And then I always forget the hotkey to this. Control Shift R. There we go. There's both of them. 1024 each. That's pretty up there. It seems like they were making a MMO, but pivoted to single player. Ziggy, what's up? Yo. Okay, I'm gonna go to the high polys. One thing for that I keep telling people about, because it's, what is that? Oh, that's a okay. Cool. We need to export just selected. Selected only, high poly. Please. There we go. One thing I always end up talking about is this new cage setting that's experimental called automatic. It gets you a really accurate cage because it's looking at the low and the high poly together to figure out what the cage should look like. So it actually ends up making a really accurate one. So if you go to like distance based, you can see this one's pretty far out, and then you need to like pull it in and maybe check everywhere for some red somewhere. But it doesn't, with the automatic one, does a pretty good job of just figuring it out for you, and it'll be a different distance based on what it's trying to figure out. So like some areas will be closer than others. So it's pretty adaptive, which is really nice. I'm doing good. I'm a little worried that I have a cold that I'm like fighting well. I'm trying to figure out if I have a cold or not. Because if I do, I should probably not be at work. Just, don't spread that stuff around. Okay, let's, we don't need ID. And for the ambient occlusion, we want to make sure that it's only the same mesh, so these won't cast some subtle AO between each other. That's always good. Okay, let's see if you feel like it, then you definitely. I mean, I don't like. I keep clearing my throat. That's the thing that I'm being thrown off by. You haven't been sick in almost a year, which is amazing. Let's see what we're looking at here. What is going on here? What is that? What are those dots? what is that? Base color. Okay, hang on. Baked maps. Let's go through that. Okay, ambient occlusion. Weird. They are still casting against each other or something. Oh, that's a weird one. Ambient occlusion doing something strange. Let's go here. Self occlusion, only same mesh, always smooth. Let's try that. Let's see what's going on. Oh, nice. I killed it. What did I press? I think I pressed Alt and left click. I need to confirm if that is causing that to break every time. Got to be bug fixing all the time, you know what I'm saying? Painter 0, Marmoset 1. Oh, flashbang too. I don't think I have a backup either. No worries. Low poly. Boop. That AO looked weird. Like I haven't seen that in a while. Automatic sample. We're going to get choppy here for a second. We're in for some chop. Man, that is super strange with the dots in the AO. It's more subtle now, but it's there. Yeah. That is odd. Dude, I haven't seen that in ages. Little freckles. Yes. Okay, let's so the question is should we make this like coppery? Copper worn? Oh man, this is like super copper. Hang on. Let's see here. That's kind of interesting. It's very saturated, that's for sure. And then the worn surface, I wonder if we should go more for that, like a patina color. Copper patina. Yeah, okay, here we go. So this is like a patina effect. Let's grab that color. And then we'll really push the roughness on that really up high. And then, oof, nice. That tells me we are not triplanar or something. Oh, maybe I should save too, huh? Did he got gray hair or lighting in room making it? Oh, this hella gray hair. You ready? Hang on. I'm like 40 years old, man. Hang on, you're close up. We get a gray close up. Is that working? It's Pepper, man. Crimson, what's up, dude? No, it's not working. Oh man, how you doing, Crimson? Kinda. It's Jover. Yeah, what's good, Crimson? You all right? You doing okay? Okay, one of these textures is probably not triplanar. This one's triplanar. Is this one? Texture 2, texture 1, triplanar, triplanar. What the hell's going on? Attributes, resolution. Maybe I can... Harry, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Full head of hair and you're here. Hang on. Does this help? There we go. No? I got the peaks, man. No, and I haven't had a haircut in ages, so I don't it'll catch up. Maybe I won't have hair in like 10 years. Let's see. The topics we get into in chat, I love it. I love it. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Dust subtle. Let's try that one. And then we'll get rid of this. We'll turn this up. Oh, of course. Cool. That's not doing it. Dirt heavy. Let's go. These are small enough that I'm like, we're good. We're good. We can just use this stuff. We don't need to be like going custom, with all the... And this one, what is this texture? Holy cow. Okay. Okay. Texture secondary. Dirt. Let's can we do like grunge? And maybe this one. And then this one. Oh. Oh, that's a little better. Dude, look how like you're all patinaed out, man. Hella patina. Probably get some discoloring on the copper too, just because it might look cool. Let's go less saturation, darker, and then let's mask. You'll accidentally find out age is getting to me in one way or another. Yeah, I just was like, I'm not gonna dye my hair unless I want to add like a color and do something crazy. Which I keep thinking about. I think that'd be kind of fun. The longer I wait, the more I'll be immediately gone to like someone will go, dude, this guy's having his midlife crisis or something. I was like, nah, man. I made a choice. Wonder if in this copper if we push the roughness a little different, just a little bit different from the rest. So the nice thing is all this stuff is happening in here. We can just like we can delete this, but we can instance this instance across to the other. Nice. Yeah, you got because your color options are vibrant. Man, you're 24 and my barber noticed I have a single gray hair on the back of my head. Think it might be time to look for a retirement home soon. That's that's amazing. Don't worry. They have VR there, I heard. Gaming is going to be lit by the time you guys are all retired. Do it, color it. Oh, Foozle's in. Foozle wants me to color my hair. Dude, that's so... I wonder if in this... Where is it at? The worn... This worn one as well. So we can use this cloud and multiply. And then maybe we do like a really crisp edge on it. And that crisp edge needs to be like a linear dodge so all the other stuff shows through. And then we can like push the contrast down, but then like really just kind of emphasize it along the edges. The reason I say this is because then the edges get kind of darker. Like if we look at our color, our base color, and maybe it's not dark enough. Maybe we need to go darker. Let's HSV. I love using HSV when you're like pushing this stuff around because you can isolate just saturation or just value. So like if we want to just go darker, but we want to keep the saturation where it's at, we can just push it down a bit more. Some nice, much nicer control. Let's see what's going on here. So we've got this one. Let's hide these. We can just focus on these edges. Level. Oh yeah, see, I want this stuff. That's some nice. And then maybe this one, the texture is tiling too much. So it's giving you this like sense of like micro information. Maybe we just need to tile that less. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. Contrast, no stains. Well, that's a interesting texture. It does not have a tiling amount though, does it? Resolution, attributes. Interesting. Global invert. Oh, that's kind of global balance. I mean, maybe we go more subtle with this then. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think we were saying with this, like, this edge one as well, we were playing with the roughness. Let's look at our roughness. So our roughness looks like this. And the edges, maybe I'll go even more rough. And then take the patina and really push it to like a really rough attribute. Also metallic on the patina, I'm going to make 0. That was what was making the patina look dark. You see that? Because now that the copper is oxidized, it's no longer metal. So the metallic value should be 0. Let's... Okay, what I don't like is the edge of this being so simple. Scale. Linear dodge, contrast. Ooh. Brightness. Wonder if I use multiply, and then I can chip away at the... Yeah, see, I'm chipping away at the other texture now. So maybe we can mess with the other texture and play with the scale. Contrast is better. Nice. Nice. I don't like how saturated it is, even though it's probably more accurate. Maybe we push this one down, and then this one we go even lower. Why is it always going down here? Saturation. Yeah, something a little bit more cool. Okay. Roughness is looking pretty complex, which is good. Yeah. I wonder if I can put like a fill layer inside of here that's like just roughness variation to just add some grunginess inside of the initial copper. Yeah, like this one. So we would put this at 0, and then we go roughness, and this is normal. Apply. I don't think this is going to work the way I'm thinking it is. I think I'm going to put a fill layer above it. Roughness variation. Turn this off. Roughness. I think I know why it wasn't working as well. I think I was putting it in the color. Is it this one? Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. Let's put this triplanar. Let's maybe like scale it around. So just to get some variation in the copper itself. And it should probably be linear dodge, so it's just, yeah. Or maybe, let's see. Yeah, you can see it's adding information without affecting the, without being included in the patina. I don't know if I like that texture though. I want like a more washed, this one's kind of interesting. I mean, it's like fingerprints being smeared, but you can see like how, yeah, that might do it. I thought I said triplanar, bro. How do you do it without roughness? or a reference. I just don't care. But I have a very specific image in my mind about how I want it to look. And this is like, ZK, I think we talked about this before as well. It's like once you understand roughness to a certain point, then it's more like exaggerating it in ways that work for what you want to do. So this is triplanars. I don't know what's, maybe this doesn't tile. That'd be sad. Dude, look at this one. Crazy. Yeah, I like the subtleness of this one. Just breaks up the surface somewhere. It's a bit rough, right? Yes, Finn. Yes. Never seen my dad with hair since I could remember. Dude, you're going to get an Arc Raiders squad going for retirement? Dude, let's go. Let's go. So, this is Concernicus. Maybe it's the hardness. It helps a little bit. That helps enough where I can ignore it. Yeah. Let's see balance. So let's see how much we want to like mess with the roughness of the. You can see with the base as well. If we bring the copper down even further, it's going to allow us to get more separation without having to go as dark with this material. So we go here, attributes. We could probably add a levels in here as well if we want to make it brighter or darker. Roughness. It should give you full range. So now we're doing 0 to 1 entirely. And then we can push this around and see where. That's quite interesting. Cool. I think if I were to paint any of the mask stuff, it would probably be for the patina because it's bugging me. It's so like even. But again, maybe it doesn't matter because it's really small. I don't know. Dark magic of sort, I guess. No, if I want this to be ultra accurate, reference, hands down, you need it. Right? But I mean, I'm just not letting it become ultra accurate. I mean, maybe these can be 0 to 1. Let's see what we're doing here. Like just a standard bake. Okay, I'm just gonna export these out as a regular material. I actually don't have a material like this that supports this look. So we're going to have to make a shader really fast too. Let's do the Unreal export. You know, I'm like picking the option here. Unreal Packed. That should give us color, metallic, normal. Yeah, ORM, occlusion, roughness, metallic. Then we can just set that up really quick. We don't need a emissive. So I'll just do that. We'll just hit export on those. And I really don't like the naming that it's giving for us. So we're going to need to fix that really fast. Where are we at here? Unreal Engine Packed. This one. Occlusion, roughness, metallic. ORM. There we go. Let's try that again. Nice, nice. Cool. Open directory. All right, let's get these in. What's this? Unreal. Oh, right, I need to export out the objects too. So I've been really lazy and I don't have the exporter that auto moves these to the center. So I'm just gonna dupe these off, press Alt G to reset the pivot to the origin. And then I'll just focus on these and I'll just export them out one by one. Oh, right. They need to have better names too. Just put underscore loop poly on this. Okay, these ones. SM underscore bowl A. This one. SM underscore cup A. Nice. I think I can export both of these together, right? I think, anyways. It's getting a little hacky here. Okay. Unreal. Let's go hide over here. Meshes. Pottery. These ones. Oh no, I need to re-import. Okay, never mind. This isn't gonna work. Export. No shortcuts. SM Pottery cup A. Export. Bowl A. Export. I'm gonna just re-import with a new file on top of the that one's the cup, yeah, cup. Re-imported. Let's drag that here. Drag this one here. And then I need to re-import the other one. Re-import with new file. Cup. Wrong folder. Bowl. There we go. Okay. Those should be updated over here as well. Let's check here. Yes, they are updated. Cool. Is it okay that I have 6 master materials in my scene? Basic one with alpha mask, transparency, RGB mask, mesh paint, and landscape. That sounds fine. Why is the mesh paint separate? Can the mesh paint be integrated into most of the other materials? Or is that too crazy? Minus the alpha one, for example. Okay, need to bring the textures in. Also, I'm gonna kill Substance Painter. Or maybe I can kill Blender. just to start cutting on memory. And Unreal, we get some of our frame rate back maybe. I'll just save this one. I can see how much of a frame rate issue it becomes. Everything's hogging resources, man. Yeah, you could add the alpha mask with the basic one and then just have it as a toggle. Translucent is definitely different. You probably would want to separate them for that. Okay, so we got these guys working. We need to make a shader for them because I don't think we have one. Basic. We have stone basic. Basics, yeah. We need a material, basic. Basic, and then detail normal. So we'll do that. Open this one up. Oh, this is gonna get crazy, I think. Let's see what we do here. Basic stone. Let's go in here. I'm gonna just do some stealing. Shader stealage. Okay, so we have our bake normal and then we have a detail normal. We're gonna grab all of this and just paste it here. Plug that into normal. Now we should have baked map, which good practice is to have a flat normal that you can input that's low res enough. Like this one is a flat normal that's 16 by 16. So it's quite low res. And then we have our detail normal that we're gonna just use as the default for now. We've got some detail normal strength control, detail normal tiling. I'm gonna remove the word stone from that. And then what else do we need? Yo, thanks for the raid turning. How you doing, man? What's going on? How was your stream? I'm gonna grab this as well. And then this went straight into the base color. Yes. So what this is, I'm gonna zoom in here for a second. So I made a material function called SBC, which I need to also grab SBC controls, right? So plug this in here. So what this material function does is it gives you all the control to be able to desaturate, mess with the masks, to desaturate, multiply, and control the power, essentially giving you saturation, brightness, and contrast control through a single param that's affecting the albedo. So with this albedo, we need to convert this to a parameter. Color. So we have that. Then we need to grab the roughness. What do we do in the roughness here? Yeah, we're just doing a power and multiply and contrast. We're going to need an ORM set up here in a second, though. Okay, so we have our roughness. Our roughness, though, is going to be coming from a channel, right? Maybe it's a good time to bring in some of these textures. Let's go to meshes. I'm just putting them in the same. Yeah, they should all be going in here. And just rename these maps because they look horrible. Pottery, bowl. Okay. Okay, let's drag these over. Let's drop them in here. We'll search pottery. Cup. Let's isolate for a second here. Go here, make sure that this is mask. And then bowl. Mask. Okay, let's bring these in as like the example. I could have just dragged all those in. I don't know why I did it like that. Oh, wait. This is the wrong shader. Okay, so we have our normal. We're going to leave that flat. Then we have our ORM and our albedo. I'm going to just grab this, place it here, delete. Hell, I'm just going to grab this. That's fine. Put that there, delete this. And then this one we're going to grab and we're going to paste it here. We're going to make sure it's mask. Good to go. And remember, it's ORM. Good practice is to, let me just scale this up so we can look at it a little bit. Good practice is to name all these just so that it's easier. So right, it was ORM. So you can see you've changed them there. We can do AO, roughness, metallic. So now those will all be named how you expect them to be named. Let's move all these down here. Let's see here. I'm going to organize this a bit. So we're nice and clean, tidy. Okay. So we got normal, and then roughness needs to go here. AO, we're going to do a multiply and a value for AO control. Brightness, maybe. And then saturate. AO. AO. And then metallic, which I think I'll just use a lerp. And I'll promote to a parameter. Promote to a parameter. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. Not for a metallic. We don't do anything to the metallic. We just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let's add a few points here just to tidy it up a bit. Ooh, that doesn't do what I want it to do. Nice. Okay, colors exposed. This is exposed. SBC. This one is not exposed yet. Let's expose that. Maybe I can grab these and just line these up. That feels good. Okay. Convert to parameter. ORM big. Have our normal. Nice. Okay. Let's save that. You've been working on an environment most of the week. You'll share when you get a little bit more progress. Dude, hell yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see. Love to see. Okay, so what we want to see now is if we instance this, what we're getting out of it. Where am I? Pottery. Or no, basic. Basic. Do we have one? Basic detail normal? Dude, I might have just remade. Okay, well, I guess you guys get a video of making a shader. Material instance cup A. Material instance bowl A. Let's edit these. Let's maybe save, huh? We're touching a lot of things. Why are they named this? Oh, that bugs me. Cup. Dude, they're like, I think because they're taking in their old name. Pottery. Let's limit it to static meshes. Yeah. SM pottery bowl A. Killing me, man. Cup A. There we go. Cool. Okay. My God. So now I can do cup, right? And not static mesh. Then I get all of it. That's good. And then we're going to just drag this here. Looks perfect. Let's see what the material instance has exposed for us. Okay, so we have our control, and then we're using the bowl maps, so we need to switch those to use the cup maps. Normal, no, that's base freaking brain. Cup, base color, cup, ORM. And we did not expose a normal. That's what we missed. Save. Okay, is that Burke or is that someone else? Normal, cup, normal. There we go. Cuppy. Looks cool. Working for me. Bowl. Yeah, bowl. Doot. And probably has all the right maps minus the normal. Let's see if the normal. No, normal's correct. Cool. Nice. We are getting the detail normal coming through pretty strong on there, I think. Maybe we don't need it. Detail normal strength. Let's put it at like 0.2 or 1. 0. Yeah, you don't really. There it is if it's full strength. Maybe 0.2. We can do that on the cup as well. Detail normal strength, 0.2. Save, save, save. Okay, let's see what it looks like in its little native environment here. Doesn't look all that strange. Looks cool with the like reflectiveness. So you can see the environment reflecting in it a little bit. And I think because of how we've exposed the roughness, contrast, and multiply, we should be able to push it around. Yeah, so if we wanted it to become really reflective, we can do that. We can also push it really diffused. We can also push the contrast so that the details that are there are really crushed. Right? So if you want them to be there, but then like crunchy, you can crisp it out. But it might be all right where it's at. Feels kind of cool. Yeah, and you have all these ones here, and in the environment with the reflectivity, I think it's reading okay. Nice. Is it placed over here as well? No? Or over here? Because these are like whole sets, right? I should bring this out here so we can see it in the light. Nice. Yeah, that's quite interesting. It's really high res. I don't think they need to be 1024. We can check the I could probably right click on all of these. Let's see what we do here. So this is what? This is the bowl? Okay, so we're looking at the bowl here. We can do this. We can do asset actions, edit selection in property matrix. And this will give us this window. We'll just drag this out here. So then you can go and you can look at like, okay, is the compression correct on these maps? Which ones have sRGB on? Oh, you like it, Trim? Nice, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, like if we click on all of these, you can see maybe adjust compression. Let's see, level of detail, LOD bias, downscale option. So if we switch this to 1, hey, thanks for the follow. Now I've made it turn into a 512 texture. So that's all 512 now. So it's a fourth of the texture cost, right? Which you can decide like, okay, is that worth it? Maybe the ORM can stay high res and the normal can stay high res, but then the albedo stays at like at 512. So you're finding ways to trim where possible. Max texture size, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just playing with the LOD bias, but that's a good point. I need to go there. Max texture size. So you could say that the albedo would be 256, and the normal would be 512, and then we can keep this ORM at like its original res. Let's see what it looks like a little lower. Yeah, see this? That's the one that gets things blurring out quite a bit. You're losing a lot of fidelity in your roughness and in your AO, I guess. It's mainly the roughness that's doing all of the work. So if you keep it at 1024, it's going to look pretty good. Yeah, and then you can save all those all at once. Let's go to the cup. LOD bias is similar, but max texture size actually trims the maximum amount, right? So like if you were to bake this out as a game, you're actually removing the upper part, which pushes everything down, if I understand correctly, Borg. Or Boar, I should say, Boar. Where are we at here? Edit and matrix. Let's look at max. So for base color, let's do 256. For normal, 512. ORM, we'll keep it at its original. Nice. It's like trimming just a little bit off of the top. Saves you a little bit of memory. This is why they say the like roughness map is like one of the most important. Like your albedo can kind of be blurry, but as long as the roughness values are pretty accurate and sharp, you tend to maintain that fidelity. So yeah, so now that we have those, I mean, you can build these little, oh, see, we have a bigger set here. Look at this one. You can build these little stories with the all these little props that you have. Man, it kind of makes me feel like the gold should be copper. The copper is so much more interesting. But yeah. Get some dirt in there. Oh my god, there's dirt in your bowl, dude. Cause see, you could have that, and then we could go in and grab some of the ferns. You can have a fern growing out of the bowl. Giving the game a haircut? Yes, sir. Let me just locate these. Yeah, cool. Cancel. So yeah, so you could be like, okay, we position this bowl. It's like, it's got a little dirt in it. Maybe we can put a little fern in there. It doesn't make sense, but if ivy were coming out of this, that'd be cool. But like, how did the ivy get in there? You know, it's kind of strange. But yeah, this is the type of like little micro details you can be doing to like help ground this stuff, connect things. You thought I was done messing with this level? Are you crazy? No, we're getting close. But dude, there's so many props we did not have that I need to make. Like this one. This needs to be built. This thing. But like we have we got a majority of this thing sorted. I need to bring in these corners, and then all this stuff up here we're just gonna fake, because you know you don't ever really see it from that angle. But yeah, there's been we also, I don't know, Turning, if you were around when we got the crash and we lost like 3 months of work. It's been 20 years. It's been 3 years, man. Also, remember, I almost only work on this during stream, so. Oh, we have Discord critiques this Thursday. FYI. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Turning. I lost a bunch of stuff. Had to redo it. Like this whole collapse, I had to remake the collapse. It took maybe like 3 hours. You're sorry for my loss. Good stuff. But yeah, I think if I were to like really try and push this environment with like extra details and do storytelling and whatnot, there should be like scaffolding and stuff that's kind of like for the pottery and like where they're stacking things up. Because if you, in Shadow Colossus, each one of these stalls is like one of the Colossus statues, right? And as you beat them, they collapse down and fall into disarray, or like look super broken and whatnot. And we don't have I'm not doing those statues in a way, right? And you can see when I'm working on this side or when I'm working on this side, this is just a duplicate of the same area, just rotated. And then we just bring it into the full environment. I can show you actually, because we are getting very close now, which is great. Because it's time to move on. Let's see here. Yeah, you're waiting for the critique. Yeah, critiques this Thursday. These turned out cool. I like them. They turned out better than I thought they would. And we built a shader too, so that's nice. Okay, what are we looking at here? Yeah, so, I mean, last time you checked, we probably didn't have this opening, so now we have more light coming in, and then I just duped it over here as well. Just so there's just more information coming through. Let me, and I always forget where it's at. Get the EV down so you can see a little bit better. That might be a bit intense. But yeah, all this, like, I'm really happy with this shot, actually. Like, this alone could be a portfolio for me. And I'd be happy with that. The dirt, no, the dirt's actually, I think the dirt's Megascan. But you can see, like, we have this big opening up here. And if you can get the light to line up, we get a nice, like, ray here, and I've got some leaves falling. This is where I'm like, okay, maybe I have to figure out how I want to do the brightness, because I'll control the brightness based on where you're at, and I'll just use volumes to like bring it up and down. But yeah. Ziggy, we had critiques like 3 weeks ago, I think. I think we had them 3 weeks ago. If there's something I could do to elevate this a little bit more, maybe the ferns moving. Right now they don't move at all. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I care enough to. And then this water keeps resetting its color. I don't know why. It's bugging me. This is my other favorite shot, is right here. Bring the light in. Just feels nice. And we have the altar. Feels really cool as well. Yeah, see, we have some of the new pieces, but I need to get these ones in, and these ones need to be replaced. But these are all new. Yeah, 3 weeks, man. Dude, Bork. Is it Bork? Should I say Bork? Or 3629? Like, I don't know. I don't want to butcher your vibes, you know? Dude, this area, though, digging it. I think if we could elevate this, maybe with some, like, pottery, maybe we can do that for the rest of the strum. Try to figure out a good light position here. Because I like seeing the little detail up here. That's nice. Cool. Okay, pottery. Dude, look how tiny it is, too. Oh my God. Oh, we got to turn off the decals on this, too. Maybe we put some cups up here. So small. These ones are pretty big. Tip this over, maybe rotate it a little bit. So maybe these are like, what do you call them? Like offerings. Kind of weird with this one being so. You do this. You can see what that does for the scale. It's kind of cool. Are there any returning champions to the Discord critique this week? That's a good question. Is that Ivy? Actually, no. So the leaves are, you're talking about these. These are textures.com atlases. And then I went in and modeled them and then placed them all and built out like a set or a kit for them. So like if I go in here, look up Ivy. Yeah, there's like a whole set of these. If I go, maybe I can go up here and you can see. We'll just go hang out over here. And if we look at the, man, what is it? The wireframe for them. They're pretty dense. Like the vines themselves and all that stuff could probably be greatly lowered with no loss of detail. But yeah. But I've got like ones that you place on the ground. Man, this is freaking bright. Hang on. Why, dude? Every time I'm like, where the hell is the 15? Maybe. Yeah, well, we can do 15. And I'm using them in like all types of different ways. Got these like individual ones here. They're kind of nice. So it's like you can, it's like set dressing. So if I need this to like come around a corner, and I'm scaling these as well, depending on like distance from camera. So you hand place your Ivy? Yes, I did, sir. Which is not, that sounds crazy. With the way these are built, it's much easier to just kind of, I can show you over here. Like if we look at this pillar. This pillar is just, it's this root mesh. We hide that. And then it's these. And I just kind of dupe them around. And I strategically tried to position them so they made sense based on like what I was trying to do. Like putting all of that together is probably like 15 minutes, maybe. And then I'm doing it in an instance, right? Like a level instance. So then I can just reuse it over here, rotated, like 180. Oh, wow, that thing looks kind of broken. What's going on there? That looks like the subsurface is broken in that shader or something. These are from a library on the marketplace. Same with these. And then I just like slam these cliffs into the water and just kind of tried to make it look like something. But yeah, the ones on the ground, for example, though, these are just like patches that I'm placing. Like single meshes. She's like, oh, I need this to crawl just a little bit further. Then I just put another one. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Get it into a good spot. And then call it good. Yeah. And you can see the sky reflection in the leaves. It gives you this like nice sense of like detail. It's kind of cool. Dude, I love doing this stuff. But yeah, back to our little story over here. That focusing of the column is just level instance groups, which, for example, if you like, you can see this one is one. Like this is all together. And I'm like, oh, maybe I need all this propping that I did on top of it to be part of it as well. Like maybe this should be inside of that also. You can go and edit, cut, and paste between the two. Oh, yeah, you're in 5.5. I think this one's 5.6. Yeah, there's some wonkiness sometimes with that type of stuff. Dude, that freaking glint. It's kind of cool. I haven't bothered to change from 5.5. I don't know if I should. I mean, you could do it later. Do it after you're done with your scene. There's no rush to do it, right? Maybe I can get the bigger filter for static meshes. Dude, I found out you can put these on the top now, which is kind of nice. It's just the filter settings here. You can set it to horizontal instead of vertical, because vertical's here, which is also kind of nice. But I like seeing it across the top. Feels familiar to me. Yeah, so we have this really big one. We could use this one here. I wonder if this could go in here. Let's switch to local and rotate it. Maybe push it into the dirt a little bit. Yeah, just trying to think about how you can use your props a lot over and over. Gets them to go a long way for you, you know? In here, it gets kind of shadowy. We got what? We got some rocks in there? No. Yeah. But we could look at this grouping of where is it at? Yeah, these ones. These blueprint collections. What could you bring in a big group of them? And maybe like hide it in here. Something like this. It's kind of cozy. Might be a little weird if they're all tilted like that. I don't know. I don't know. That's cool. You see this one and then this one. Maybe this one should be more like this then. Kind of more interesting, maybe. Ages, time. Try and simulate time. Hmm. Nice. Man, that really helps with the scale, that's for sure. See, and the thing is like I'm placing all these over here. What we could do is select these. Oh, hang on here. You just select all these. We got this one. We got those. We get these ones. So let's save real quick. So we can cut these. We can go into edit. So we sub-edit the big like mesh collection of all of these. And then paste it. And then save. And you remember we're mirroring it on the other side. So we can take all of this propping with us. And it'll be somewhere over here. Yeah, see, it's over here now too. Like, because this is the same area, right? Just being propped differently, or it's being propagated over here. So it's kind of like hitting two areas at once. Big fan of this angle though. Read chat real quick here. Foliage voxel optimization. Yeah, if you really need it. Like, the thing is did you know that if an asset is nanite, you can turn that voxelization on for it? It doesn't have to be foliage. Pretty crazy. Yeah, if they need to do like a like 5.8 would be like a huge stabilization pass where they just push a bunch of stabilization. I think that would be awesome. I think people would really enjoy that actually. So you need to sub edit this and bring these down so like feel like they're floating. Getting like tons of clipping and stuff too. Whoa, scary. Hey, so you get some like little metal bits coming through in the reflections. So cool. Big fan of just shoving this stuff into the ground. Could put it here, and then we could put some ivy on top of it. Let's see, we got this one. Just make it look like it's growing on top of the... Let's see if we can get it in a good spot. Just get it all integrated, you know, and then you don't even notice, don't even realize why it feels right. It just looks correct. It's like, see what this ivy piece is like a corner one, so you can place it on corner pieces. Really handy. So yeah, if you had a bunch of ivy like crawling across the top here, I guess you could maybe do it with this one. Just enough to explain it, and you're good to go. I don't think I want them there, though. Yeah, that's the thing is like sometimes, so one thing that you should be careful about with ivy is that it needs to make sense where it's coming from. A lot of times you have ivy, like you can see I have ivy creeping down the top of this. And everyone's like, oh yeah, it's cool when you get this broken top and then you see all the ivy coming in. That only should happen if ivy is growing up here and then seeps in, right? So that should imply that there's a bunch of foliage up above. Which is why I started adding a bunch of ferns and all that stuff just to kind of support it. But ivy should always be coming from the ground up, right? So if you're seeing it here, it should be understood that there's a bunch of foliage and stuff growing on the top. But yeah, it gets weird really fast if you can't explain how something is set up. Oh, it's really nice with the metal, because you can get some like other types of surfaces. Gives you more roughness range, you know, and variation in your scene in general. But yeah, I guess I deleted it, Burke, because it wasn't resonating, right? So whenever you add this stuff, you got to ask yourself like what's around it that helps like explain. Maybe I'll bring the sun in at a low angle here. We have this like dirt patch. Maybe I bring the dirt over just to break up the ground. Just really push it down like this. Squished a little bit. And then you can take this, maybe place it on top. Yeah, you will probably only ever see that stuff in like silhouette. Honestly. Yeah, there probably needs to be a bunch of pottery around this, kind of like just telling like the remembrance and whatnot. Gold offerings. I mean, gold makes sense. Did you change some stuff, Eden? It sounds like a lot has happened. Yeah, this thing's too big. Too crazy. Too fast, too furious. Love tipping me some cups over. Like, why would that cup be there? That's kind of weird. Oh God, where do we start? uh, cool. Cool. Oh yeah, I need to decorate the top edge of this. It's 9:55. Let's go. Let's do it. Because like you can see, we have this like nice. I have a nice overhang mesh that's really easy to work with. If I just take that and maybe we'll paste that here, and then I'll grab some of these and paste that here. Should be able to do it with a few props. Yeah, so if we take this, something like that. Take this one. This one's huge. Ooh. That's not scary at all. Basically, you want that edge to feel like there's more happening up above. Instead of just this edge, you know? How did you get the ground to tessellate? Or did you create a 4x4 tiling modular piece? Yeah, it's just a big... You're talking about these? It's just a tiling material with a displace, like nanite displace. Is that what you're referring to? I can get those really wild ferns that just pop out of the wall. That's kind of cool. Can hide its transition with another one that's smaller. Just under it. Maybe put one here too. Dude, what the hell? I'm like flying. Yeah, this is working well though. Having these ones like up high. This one's kind of melting into the tree. You can just rotate it. Get some nice shadows too from it. It's cool. What is the frame rate for the scene? Or are you just trying to do optimized? Man, I always forget how to freaking. Isn't there like a really quick button for frame rate? I always forget. I mean, there's a command as well, right? Where the heck? Preview, viewport, scalability, Control Shift H. Really? I'm scared. There it is. 60? It goes between like 23 and 65 or something like that. It's about 15 milliseconds, which is not too bad. Like if I'm over here, yeah, it's 15 milliseconds. It's like 70 frames. But, I mean, how about over here? It's like 16 milliseconds to render. Is there a fast way to place circular modular pieces in Unreal? Oh, that's a interesting question. I mean, you can see what I was lazy. Like if I take this one, you can see the pivots just in the center. So that way I can just do this. But I think you can move pivots around, if I remember correctly. Pivot point, depending on the engine, yeah, can be pretty important. You don't want your pivot to be too far away from the object. Of course, mine is really weird for my wall module pieces. It's like offset by a whole unit. But I'm not trying to make a game or anything, you know? Preferably you want your pivots to be inside the bounding box. How many tries are your trees? They're not even my trees, so I have no idea. These guys. They're a lot. They can't be that crazy, though. Let me see. Edit. Oh, this is a level instance. Hang on here. What? Oh, what? $3 million nanite triangles for the tree. This environment's crazy. I'll just like this tree's floating because it doesn't ever matter. You don't ever see it like where it's meeting. Like maybe from down here you would, but I'm not gonna let you see that, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's 10:02. For those columns next to water, did you bake them or or are they just nanite? Everything is baked. Even when using nanite, I think it's good to bake because you get like per pixel information and you don't have to just have your poly count like stupid high. Let's see here. Because if I switch to the nanite view, your eyeballs are gonna melt. But I can show you the like lit wireframe. So these are pretty dense. And since then, I've gone pretty far away from being that dense. Like you can see even the leaves for the ivy are pretty dense. But now I'm more along the lines of stuff like this. Like even these are crazy. The dirt is like tessellating as it needs to. But yeah. Yeah. These are where I started to try and optimize a bit because you don't need it to be that crazy. You can see I cleaned these up quite a lot. But these are all sculpted and then baked down as well. So it's optimal. It's not crazy, but it's also not trying to be perfect or anything either. Yeah. They're not really low poly, but decimated. Yeah, early on I was doing a lot of decimation. Like these, for example, these were all hand placed individually as pieces from a kit. That kit was all baked out, all in the same like texture set. And then I positioned them, placed them all like this, and then baked it out in Unreal as a single piece. So this is now its own thing. But you can see the pillars are made from two pieces that I'm changing the rotation and scale of. And then I've got the base and then this top piece. And then the base is the same thing that's at the top here. So this pillar is made of like 4 props. No, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 pieces. And then this pillar here, for example, is made out of the same pieces, right? Just like scaled. You can see I just started doing this. You don't know what happens to your scene, but yours is 30 FPS. That's a good question. I'd be curious to see if you could zip you can go here, go file, and you can zip project. If you do that and just like send me your project file, I can look at it. I'd be curious to see. It's the year 2036. Dynasty is almost done with his environment. There's just one more thing. One more thing to do. Don't mock me. Enjoy the ride. Cool. Okay, I need to get out of here. It's 10:05. It is 10:05. Oh, man. But I really appreciate you guys sticking out with this environment that I've been working on for an eternity. It's chill. It's chill. But I do appreciate it. It's nice. One day. Yeah, one day, man. Cool. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you on Thursday for Discord critiques. So if you got something you want to show, we can look at it. We can do some feedback, maybe help out a little bit. Maybe you'll enlighten us to something. Anyways, cool. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye.